Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to standard 4.2, solving one-step equations. Just a very algebra-y thing we're going to do. Sorry. Let's get started. Again, I think you've seen this, but let's hope. Standard 4.2, I can solve one-step equations by adding or subtracting. All right, so first off, we need to know something here. We know inverse operations. Inverse operations are operations that undo each other to get the variable alone. We have two pairs of these that we're going to work with. We're going to start with addition and subtraction. They are opposites, right? Same step in PEMDAS because they do the same thing, but they're in fact opposites. They undo each other. Our other one's going to be the other pair, multiplication and division. All right. So, addition and subtraction properties of equality. You can add or subtract the same number from each side of an equation, and it does not change the solution. When we mean that, when we say each side, here, we mean at the same time. Like we're going to take it off of, like if we subtract 2, we're going to take it off of both sides. So let's actually see what this looks like. So we're going to solve each equation, and then we need to remember that we have to check the odd answers. All right, and that's pretty important because we need to know, and you need to know that you know what you're doing. So let's start. First, I want to read it. X plus 9 equals 17. I want to identify what operations go in here. We have plus. I want to do the opposite. So I'm going to write minus 9 because I want to do that opposite of plus, which is minus. And then I'm going to go across that equal sign. You know what helps some people is we put a fence in here. So you know whatever you do to one side of the fence, you have to do the other. Cross that fence and take away 9. And now I'm going to work my way down. 9, or x, nothing happens, stays x. Negative, or positive 9 minus 9 makes 0. You can write plus 0, but you don't need to write anything. This side is just x. This fence still has my equal sign on it. All right? 17, take away 9, leaves me 8. So we're saying x equals 8. All right, and then we're going to go back up here, and we're going to plug that in. I'm going to say 8 plus 9 equals 17. All right, the side that's by itself, 17, stays 17. All right, regardless of what else happens. We're going to go back to this side, and we're going to add 9 plus 8 does in fact make 17. If these two match, we've checked it off, and that means our equation works. If these two numbers don't match, that means you had an error somewhere, and you need to erase, go back, and fix it. Okay, this is important. You need to show us this work. You need to show us this work on the odd ones, okay? Make sure you know what you're doing. Let's check out 2. We have 10 equals 12 plus W. I want to find my operation. Let's do blue now. Find my operation. It was plus, so I'm going to subtract. Trick is, I want to leave Y where it's at. So instead of worrying about this, we're going to look in front of the 12 and see if there's a sign. If there is no sign, our opposite is going to be subtract 12 because we're going to say this is a positive 12. And we're going to go over here and do minus 12. We're going to work our way down. 10 minus 12 makes negative 2. All right. 12 minus 12 makes 0. Y comes down. Our answer is going to be y equals negative 2. All right, and it's even number, so we don't need to test it. We don't need to check it. All right, next one. My operation's minus the number 15, so I'm going to do plus 15. I'm going to go across that equal sign and do plus 15. All right, bring down my b. Negative 15 plus 15, if you do that right, it makes 0. Opposites always make 0, so as long as you do opposite, you'll be fine. Negative 87 plus 15. Well, my signs are different, so I can subtract and give it the negative sign because negative is bigger. So 7 minus 5 is 2. 8 minus 1 is 7. I'm going to make it negative, so we're going to have b equals negative 72. And we're going to test that. Negative 72 minus 15 more equals negative 87. Negative 87 comes down. Negative 72. 72 plus 15 makes 87. We're going to make it negative, so check mark. It's good. All right, here's one example of where it can go goofy. T minus a negative 3 equals 15. When we deal with minus a negative, I want you to take your pencil. I'm going to do it in red so you can see it. Take your pencil. I'm going to go across here and down here, and I'm going to rewrite it as T plus 3 equals negative 15. Taking away a negative is the same thing as adding a positive. So we're going to plus it up there. We're going to bring it down here and rewrite it, and then we can solve. So I'm going to say it's plus 3, so now I want to do minus 3 and minus 3. T equals 15 plus 3 is 18. They're both negative, so this is negative, so T equals negative 18. All right. That one's where it gets a little tricky. Remember, if it's minus a negative, rewrite it with just one plus inside. Next, here it's just moved over again. We're going to find our operation, n minus 5, and we're going to write plus 5 and plus 5. I work my way down. I have 12 plus 5 gets me 17. Bring down my equal sign, bring down my n. Negative 5 plus 5 makes 0. There's my answer. I can plug that back in here. 12 equals 17 minus 5. I want to keep my colors right here for you, sorry. Minus 5, so the replaced number is the red one. Then I'm going to simplify. 12 stays on this side. 17 minus 5 makes 12. Check mark. Checked out. All right. Question 6. Now we have a different one. Now we have plus a negative 23. When we do plus negative 23, we want to worry about this negative. We're going to do the opposite of that. So we're going to do plus 23 and plus 23. All right. Bring it down. 6 plus 23 is 29. Equal sign comes down, n comes down. Negative 23 plus 23 makes 0. So it would be plus 0, but we don't need to write that. We have 29 equals n. All right. A couple of word problems here. Real life examples. 7, a used DVD costs $7 less than a new DVD. The used DVD costs $8. Write and solve an equation to find the cost of a new DVD. We're going to write an equation. This is just like when we were writing those variables. So we need to know a used DVD costs $7 less than a new DVD. The used DVD costs $8. Write and solve the equation to find the new DVD. So we know that the used DVD costs $8, and the used DVD is also $7 less than a new DVD. So we're comparing two prices of used DVD, so we're going to have that on both sides. So one used DVD is $8, right? We know that the used DVD, so equal to 8, is also 7 less than a new DVD. So we're going to do D, no, let's do N for new DVD. N equals new DVD, all right? So we're going to say N minus 7, there's our 7 less than N, or 7 less than new DVD, is the cost of a used DVD, and we know a used DVD is $8. So to solve this, I'm going to add 7 to both sides, and I'm going to say N equals 15, or we could say new DVD equals $15. All right. One more. Karen's target heart rate is 140 beats per minute. This is 78 beats per minute more than her resting heart rate. Write and solve an equation to find her resting heart rate. All right. So again, we're talking about resting heart rate on, let's see, here's target heart rate. Okay. We're talking about target heart rate on both sides. We want to find out resting heart rate. So we know Karen's target heart rate is 140 beats per minute. All right. 140 beats per minute is 78 beats per minute more than her resting heart rate. Let's do resting heart rate equals R, capital R plus 78. So we have resting heart rate plus 78 heartbeats per minute is equal to this. This was Karen's target heart rate. So we have it right here. Let's solve. Minus 78, minus 78. All right. So we know R comes down. 140 minus 78. Let's do that over here. 140 minus 78. Let's see. 3, 10, 10 minus 8 is 2. 13 minus 7 is 6. 62 equals R, or resting heart rate is 62. Oh, I wrote that backwards. Sorry. 62 beats per minute. All right. All right, let's take a look at the homework here. All right, here's our homework. S4.2 homework. We have 2 sides to the page now. These are pretty easy. They're pretty fast. We are going to solve. Remember, we're going to check the odd answers, just like on the notes. Check the odd answers. Odd answers are on the left side of the page, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and it ends in those. All right. Then on the back, you're going to have 2 word problems. Really would benefit you to take a look at those notes, what we did together in class, or go back and watch the very end of the video, and that talks about it. Well, the very end of this video. Go back a few minutes and check that out. Give these a shot, okay? All right, thank you.